I just kind of fell into it, really. I was in college and I was through with athletics and looking for a major, and I thought, what Dad does looks kind of cool and important. Never dreamed of going into it when I was growing up, but once I did, I found out how important it is and what a indispensable service it provides for our society.
My athletic career ended long before his did, so I had to make the decision earlier. I was about 3. No, I was in high school, took a journalism course and liked it a lot, but I think it was the same thing, being exposed to what Dad did and seeing that I was a history buff anyway, and to watch him kind of take part in history and chronicle it, it seemed like a great way to make a living if I could figure out how to get there. And it was his influence very strongly.
I was working in a radio station as a disc jockey at the time, and one day the news guy didn't show up, and the general manager said, "Your name's Ogle, get in there and read the news." And I said, "Well, Kevin and Kelly are doing this right now." And of course, like they said, we grew up around it and heavily influenced by it, the opportunities we saw from Dad. So made that move and never regretted it.
Well, as far as awards, we've all won Emmys, but that's with the help of a lot of other people. And that's a big accomplishment, but it also goes to the people who help us win those awards. Probably the biggest accomplishment was just being on the air for the community during the Oklahoma City bombing. That was something that we all took very seriously, of course, and presenting it, the facts we knew, not what the rumors were coming in, but the facts we knew at the time, so people would at least have those to go from instead of some of the rumors that were going around about it.
I know it was anchoring our coverage of the bombing. We all knew people who were in the building, and so to keep it together while that was going on and to search for those people was difficult enough. But to watch the entire newsroom and the entire station come together, it was powerful. And to watch the way Oklahoma City responded, it was our worst hour and our finest hour. And it was an honor to be a part of it and to have the responsibility of getting it right.
Yeah, same for me. Of course, it was the bombing, and Kevin and I had the opportunity to work the first couple of weeks of the coverage together at the same time, and it was comforting for us to be working together, and we hope maybe it brought a little bit of comfort to people to see family involved and trying to go through those times. And like Kelly had mentioned, just all the different people you worked with that you were counting on them, and the audience and our fellow Oklahomans were counting on us to bring them important information when everything was so chaotic.
Well, of course, Dad helped us so much when we first got into it because he was so good at it. And people, always say, "Oh, who's the best Ogle?" They always want us to name us or our brothers, and that's a no-brainer. The best one was Jack, by far.
Yeah, going back, Mom and Dad for sure. Dad would have been shocked if he came back now and realized that all of us were in this, including nieces and granddaughters and great-granddaughters. Mm-hmm. He would have been shocked by that, but they were initially, but I would say secondly, it was my wife. When I got done with school, I wasn't really sure what I was going to do, and she kept nosing me back toward the news business. And she made a good call on that.
Well, as Kelly mentioned, it was certainly Kelly.
That's too much.
That's right.
Too much concern.
No, I have to thank my family, my wife Suzanne, because none of us have banker's hours in this business, and my schedule is pretty tough because I get up in the middle of the night and have been doing the same show for so long. So my family kind of sacrificed a whole lot for the job that I have and the job that I love, and again, of course, my mom and dad, and everybody knows about Dad's influence on us in the media. But my mother also was she was a very strong linguist. She was very into the arts, and she was a well-rounded, educated person, and she helped us a whole lot along the way too to be prepared for this line of work.
Yeah, I do want to say something about my family. That's a good point, guys. It really is.
You're going to be in the doghouse.
Yeah, my wife Ginger raised our 2 girls during some trying times when I was away a lot, and the hours we had, and just did a fantastic job, and was always patient with it, and knew it was my line of work, and she was my biggest cheerleader.
You know, he didn't openly push any of us toward it.
No.
I think he was hesitant to. And to find that we all found our ways to it by different paths was so unbelievable. And I think it's a credit to the way he conducted himself, the way he handled himself, what he stood for. It's a credit to him that we all tried to follow in his footsteps.
I was always amazed at Dad's versatility, the fact that he could pull off, doing the really hard news, the soft news, and then also do sports.
Yeah.
He went on to do a hunting and fishing show. He did radio. He did all kinds of different things, and that's what I really respect about it, 'cause that's not easy to do.
Yeah, he always told me the hunting and fishing show he got to do was his favorite thing in TV.
I believe it.
He got to go on a lot of hunts and a lot of fishing trips, which you can't beat that's for sure. Yeah, Dad never even, I don't think Dad ever dreamed we would go into this, like we didn't. But that's just kind of the way it happened.
Mm-hmm.
It's in the genes, I guess. And
Couldn't find honest work.
yeah, that's right. Couldn't find an honest way to make a living. Well, I do want to say it's such an honor to be able to go into this, because a lot of good people are there, people a lot better than I am, and really appreciate it, and I really appreciate them putting Dad in too.
Yes.